By far the toughest thing I went through in the 2 weeks after my spinal fusion was something that, had I known to expect them, I could have gotten under control fairly quickly, and I'm speaking about back spasms. Now, these back spasms are not just any normal type of spasm. They would lock in the muscles around my back in a way that was so forceful that I'd actually start to black out from the pain and I'd feel winded. The worst part is that they would catch me just as I was getting out of bed. So I wasn't fully upright and I couldn't get back down again because I was so locked up. Now, the good news is that once I knew what was happening and what to do about it, I got them under control fairly quickly. So what causes these back spasms? From what I've learned, it's a combination of two things. It's the inflammation in the back, as well as the fact that your nervous system is now completely hyperreactive. And because of that, when you move, the nervous system thinks that there's going to be danger and it locks up the muscles to stop that movement from happening. It's trying to be helpful, but it really is completely unhelpful in the process. So what did I do to get these back spasms under control? The turning point came for me when I contacted my physiotherapist, and she gave me some solid advice to help me through that period of time. The first is to get ahead of the pain. The problem was that I thought that it was a good idea to try and wean myself off the opioids as soon as possible. So where it said take it every 4 to 6 hours, I decided to try last as long as possible until I felt the pain and then took them. What I didn't know is that that breakthrough pain is extremely difficult to get back under control. By sticking to the pain medication at the right times for those first few weeks, it meant that I didn't feel the pain. The first thing is that it stops you from moving. Moving is extremely important. You need to get up and walk, and you need to be able to do the exercises that you're given in hospital to aid your recovery. And the second thing is also, if you are in pain, you're going to toss and turn and you're not going to be able to sleep. And our best healing happens when we are asleep. Also, what we are doing is we are teaching our bodies that pain and movement go hand in hand. And what will then happen is our nervous system will trigger and be reactive every time we try to move, and this will cause back spasms. The next advice was to make sure that the pillow under my knees when I was lying on my back was a really thick and puffy one to make sure there was more of a bend in my knees. And this took a lot of the strain off those lower back muscles when my legs were more straight. Thirdly, she told me not to get up straight away after lying on my back, but rather to roll onto my side, wait a few minutes for the body to get used to being in that position, and then getting up. I don't know if you've learned about the log roll. If you haven't, it's worth learning how to do that. But essentially then, when you are on your side also, and you push up to get into a seated position to then stand, it's to make sure that you don't push up with the arm that's against the bed. You push up with the arm that's on top of your body. You leverage up with that one. Another really useful thing which I found out by default was that if I just did some core activation, 8 to 10 times light core activation, I actually would loosen up the muscles in my pelvis and my hips, and it would make standing up a lot easier because the muscles weren't jolted into action. They'd already loosened up a little bit before I stood. If you don't know how to do the core muscle activation, you can look at my 11 moves video that's also on this channel. And in the first foundation section, my PT rehab specialist, Tiana, actually demonstrates how to do this move. And then lastly, if you have someone around at the time that you're recovering in those first few weeks, get someone to come to your bedside and help you up. So I would get into that seated position, cross my arms, have someone grab hold of my hands and lift me upwards, not forwards, but directly upwards. And that would help me to actually get into position without putting the strain on my back muscles. Now, if you don't have someone at home while you're recovering, use a walker or something to help you lift into that position. I've also heard that a lot of people find icing useful, as well as taking muscle relaxants. I can't speak to that because I didn't do that myself, but speak to your doctor or medical team about that because it may be helpful for you. I have a series of This Happened to Me videos that I'm busy recording. The second one that I'm going to be speaking about is sneezing, which was something so unexpected and so horrible. But I've got some good tips on how to deal with that as well. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like, so that you'll be notified about these videos and also that other people will be able to reach them too. Thanks so much. See you at the next one.